What's up, guys? It's Dr. Steve. So I got into a little bit of a debate with someone who is a pretty intellectual guy. It was a short conversation, and it was, kind of around the chicken or the egg, which came first, dealing with our neurotransmitters. And so, we can look at the cofactors that make up our neurotransmitters, and we can say, is it a chemical means, or is it actually our thoughts? Which comes first? Is it the thought that creates the imbalance? Or is it the actual chemical imbalance? And so it's not so cut and dry. It can be some of both. It can be one or the other. And we need to first do an organic acid test to make sure there's no disruptions as far as mold, as far as bacterial overgrowth, as far as yeast, different types of pathogens. But let's just say that we have some genetic expression, and we have a disruption in the nitric oxide cycle, and we aren't making enough nitric oxide. Your body will steal something called beta-hydroxyapatite that should convert to beta-dioptin, and then convert into serotonin and then down into dopamine. Or we could have a disruption in the MTHFR, and that would cause a mutation within the SUMT gene, and we don't process folate well, which would cause, either an excess or not enough dopamine. So there's different types of disruptions, or we could move through it too quickly and we could make glutamate. And that's, so we need to first make sure we have those amino acids. We need to make sure that we're getting enough glutamine. We need to make sure we're getting enough tyrosin, and we need to make sure that we're getting enough tryptophan. And if those are sufficient, then we need to say, okay, we got a problem here. We have someone who's depressed. Why are they depressed? And we can get into the chemical means. And like I said, we can increase our nitric oxide production to spare the beta-hydroxyapatite, so they make serotonin that converts into melatonin and helps us sleep. We could, if they're healthy enough, we can give them folate to help them make more dopamine. And that's there, but in a lot of cases, it's actually our thoughts, because our thoughts can create gene expression. So negative thoughts actually influence our genetic expression. And so if we're constantly thinking in a negative way, it'll influence these specific genes, like the MTHFR, like the COMT, like the what's the other one? Like our GAD gene, right? Those different types of genes will cause disruption within our neurotransmitter production and affect our mood. So our thoughts, in a lot of cases, can disrupt those cycles, and will disrupt those cycles, and are the beginning of it. Because our thoughts create neurotransmitters, they create hormones, they create digestive enzymes, they change those. And then those thoughts turn, in quantum physics, they turn into waves. So it's particles and waves, and those waves put out in the atmosphere, and they create our external environment. So when we look at chakras or energy systems coming into the body, we can actually influence that energy and change gene expression. We're not actually changing the DNA, but we're changing the gene expression to optimize your MTHFR pathway or COMT pathway or GAD gene or nitric oxide gene. And that makes a huge impact. And when we combine the knowledge base of the actual gene expression through the thoughts and emotions, and we also look at the biochemical toxicity combined with the nutritional component, we get huge success. So it's never a one size fits all. It's never the chicken or the egg. It could be a little bit of both, and everybody's issue is a little bit different. And that's why I pay attention to biochemistry, and I pay attention to emotion, And I pay attention to structure because it affects the energy flow through our bodies. It affects the spirit that ultimately controls our health and our lives. So if you guys want to learn more, I'm happy to, just give you a quick consultation on the phone. We can talk about what's going on and see if we can put together a plan that's going to create success for you in your life and in your health. ProTouchRehab.com.